on August the 13th. They beat London 46-12 at Knowsley Road in August. They beat them here at the Valley 26-20 on the 12th of May. And Chris Joynt, their captain, has had an absolutely magnificent season. Out he comes with the matchday mascot. The Saints today in their changed jerseys, blue predominantly, because the London Broncos, as you will see, are all in red. They would love to end their season on a high. They have never beaten St Helens in 8 previous home games since their old Fulham days of 1982. The season began with such high hopes. John Money in charge, one of the top coaches in the game, but just 5 wins from 26 in Super League, and John Money now departed. So Steele Retchless, the captain, leads his men out onto the Valley for the final time this year. It hasn't been a happy Valley for them in the year 2000, and with all their big name signings they hope for better things to come in the new year. Steele Retchless, though, has been one of the most consistent stars of Super League 5. Well, it's a warm, sultry evening here in southeast London. Carl Kirkpatrick is tonight's match referee. He's just about ready. St Helens have brought plenty of support down with them, and of course all the Saints supporters just hoping that victory tonight will ensure that huge game against Wigan next Friday at Knowsley Road. It should be a corker that, but first of all they've got to get over the Broncos. Wharton gets us underway, and here comes Julian O'Neill with the first tackle. Vital night, Steve-O, for the Saints this.
Certainly is, and I do know that from the Saints camp they are a little bit concerned about the way that London has prepared for this. They have been training and under the auspices of Nigel Benn. They really have been getting themselves built up for this match, and St Helens are fully aware of that, but they know the importance of this game. As you've just mentioned, they want to go in against Wigan with that top spot available.
Kieran Cunningham in at dummy half, and closely guarded secret. Cunningham coming into this match carrying a bit of an injury, but Ian Millwood, their coach, deciding to go with him from the start rather than use him off the bench as one of the interchange players. Oh, fumbled by Wharton. Saints have got it back with Joynt. Joynt is just hauled back.
What a mistake there. Big problem for London. Shane Millard is down in the background. They're down at 12.
It's another set of 6. Saints might not need them. This is Tuilangi. He's got it down. First try. Tuilangi scores for Saints. Perfect start for them. For Eddie Tuilangi. What a huge blunder, though, from Brett Wharton. Only pass fit to play at the last minute. He spilled the ball and gave Saints another chance of 6. They didn't need all 6.
Well, perhaps a little bit disappointed there. You could see that Glen Eyre knew that it was offside. Joynt went close. And whilst all this is going on, Shane Millard is down in the background. You can see him just at the back of the picture as Tuilangi goes over for the first try. A gift. But London, Shane Millard being taken from the field of play. He's in a bad way.
Well, Tuilangi has not scored for 3, but he got his 50th try of his career against London at home last month. Carl Kirkpatrick alongside Sean Long, and London, as Steve-O says, have already lost Shane Millard. He has gone off the field and will be replaced by Paul Davidson shortly. Meanwhile, Sean Long is waiting for a kicking tee.
Well, what a hotter start there. Brett Wharton just declared fit only minutes before this game. Not too impressed is Tony Ray, the acting coach.
Yes, it was not the start he wanted. First high kick, and Wharton so safe normally under the high ball, but spilled it badly.
Be interesting to see whether that would have been a knock-on. I don't think it was. I think it went backwards, but Glen Eyre, he attempted to go for the ball, then realising that perhaps he would. This is the incident where Millard got injured, and you can see there he is in a lot of pain. That could be the arm or the shoulder. He went in pretty awkward.
Well, a great delay, and I think that was because one of the touch judges was receiving treatment behind the posts. Anyway, Sean Long now with the conversion. He doesn't make mistakes from that sort of range. And what a start for St Helens. What a start for the team aiming to finish Super League 5 on top of the pile. St Helens 6, London 0. And London yet really to get this match underway from their point of view.
Well, what a hotter few minutes for the London Broncos. Tony Ray was so upbeat about this. He said that the players had really trained well. But what a start for the Saints. They will not be hanging back here. They know it is important to get those 2 vital points here. And that, to be fair, Eddie, in the past, London have always given a good account of themselves against Saints.
Well, Davidson has come on for Shane Millard. Huge blow to the London Broncos so early in the match. Let's get news of his injury. Let's go down to the side and join Angela Powers.
Yes, he was in very obvious discomfort, but it turns out that when he came onto the touchline, the physio held his ankle and felt it swelling underneath his hand. It was that bad. He thinks he might have fractured it. They carried him off in some pain, and they'll check it out in the dressing room. If I get more details on that, I'll come back to you.
Well, the season has gone from bad to worse injury-wise for London. There's another high kick from Long, and the referee deeming that Dwayne West was offside and shouldn't have been involved in that at all, but he got a hand to it, so he's given the penalty to the London Broncos.
Well, the official was shouting out wide that they were well in front, and they were. Good refereeing by Kirkpatrick. Fell on deaf ears, though, to the youngster Dwayne West. Well, some sort of relief for the Broncos. They need it. It'll take them a while to settle things down. Nothing worse than the conceded try so early in a game.
Glenair gives it to Steele Retchless. He takes on Sean Hoppy, but Hoppy coming up with a good tackle, the New Zealand international. Timu's the dummy half. This now is Anthony Seibold, and it's a combination of Perolini and Long that brings Seibold to ground. John Clark, the hooker at dummy half. He tips it inside to Glenair, and a big kick out wide. It's a tester here for Sullivan. Paul Wellens, though, taking charge. Great take by Wellens.
It was an awkward take as well. Sort of just lost it in the wind there. Just swirling round in the stadium here at the Valley.
Good offload by Sullivan, and he's got it away to Sean Long. Davidson, formerly with St Helens, of course. He won't need any motivation for tonight now that he's on so early for Shane Millard.
Great work there by Chris Joynt, realising that the Broncos were pretty slow on that blind side. Took full advantage going down that short section.
Wellens takes the 4th tackle, this set of 6, gets to his feet, plays it, and that's Sculthorpe. Gives it to Tommy Martin. Lovely little dab into open space from Martin. Wharton's after it, and he claims this time. Tuilangi overran him. Hall, though, and Hoppy in with the tackle. Now Dominic Peters.
Would have been nervous times there for Brett Wharton. He knows that the mistake gifted St Helens that first try to Tuilangi. It's a matter now of just rolling up the sleeves and trying to get into the swing of things. They really shouldn't panic, London. Plenty of time to go in this game, of course. So it's vital, whatever game plan that has been put forward to them by Tony Ray, they try to get involved with it as soon as possible.
Seibold a little fumble, but he got the ball away in the end to Scott Cram. Interesting decision by Tony Ray, Steve-O, to leave Justin Dooley on the bench tonight, the prop forward.
Well, he's been one of their stars in a somewhat miserable season, but I think it might be a good option, really, because Dooley used to be playing in spasms, not the full 40. Ian Millwood, of course, St Helens coach, fully aware of the ploys that Tony Ray is going to put up towards him. He knows it's not going to be easy. Okay, they've got the good start.
Well, he was very nervous before the kick-off, and I think the importance of this match, bearing in mind what's to come next Friday, that is the shadow that's hanging over St Helens at the moment. Wigan next Friday at Knowsley Road, that will decide if St Helens win here, that will decide who finishes top of the table, and you'll be able to see it with us on Sky Sports next Friday at 7 o'clock, Sky Sports 1. And you know, they should be getting the house full signs ready already.
Well, there'll be a knock-on. It was on the last. Trying to get it away, young West. A good defence, pretty solid there. Back on the inside.
So John Timu now for the Broncos, trying to go outside Sean Long. Long doing well with Hoppy. Dom Peters is the dummy half. Here comes Siebold again. His chest into, or rather his shoulder into the chest of Julian O'Neill. On halfway, gets to his feet, plays it to Clark. And that's Andrew Wynyard who takes that particular tackle. Hoppy putting himself about a bit tonight in the tackling department already. Here's Peter Lupton now, and he's got Paul Davidson. And he is surrounded.
Use of the dummy runner there. Andy Johnson went through as the foil.
Hey, Julian.
John Clark again. Good scampering run this. Clark got the ball away as well, but the referee unhappy, said it went, was it forward or was it a knock-on in the first place?
Well, I'm not so sure that this was forward.
Well, he's ruled a forward pass.
It's good work from the hooker. And there's a knock-on.
Maybe that's what he's given it for, yep.
Just obscured from the high shot here. Well, that'll settle nerves down with the London side. So it's always a shock to concede points early.
Well, the Broncos beaten 16 points to 30 at Castlewood last Sunday. The first match under multi-talented Tony Ray. And they have been in that special training camp this week with the former champion boxer Nigel Benn, who is here tonight to see London go through their paces. It's with Chris Joynt now for St Helens. Good run by the captain. Had another magnificent season, Chris Joynt. Now Sculthorpe. Punishing run, and they held off him. Could be fatal. Got the ball away. Martin, the referee, has ruled forward pass.
Well, that shows you the problems that London have had all season. Hanging back in defence. You cannot allow a man like Sculthorpe to run at you like that. You've got to get into the face of him. I'm afraid that the defensive pattern there was all at sea. And he knows it too, Tony Ray.
Lupton, big hit on him by Tuilangi. Timu now. International in both codes, Timu. And that's good work from him. Got away from Perolini.
Had a big game last weekend. Probably the best of the season.
Here's Wynyard again. Oh, it's a big hit by Perolini. They're allowed to play on, though. The ball went backwards. Retchless gets it to Siebold. And he is completely enveloped by two, Sculthorpe and Joynt. Wharton was the dummy half, and this now is Davidson.
We got it back. He did well then.
And Millard has got ice on the ankle, and they believe it's a sprain rather than a fracture, which is better news. But with the season for London just another 7 days to run, probably won't be seeing him again in Super League 5.
He looked in a lot of pain, didn't it? At first when I saw it, his arm went underneath, maybe the arm or the shoulder, but it was quite obvious now that the ankle twisted, went in awkward into that tackle.
Well, to be fair to London, they've steadied the ship after that blow, losing Millard, and also with the concession of the try in the first minute. Coming up to 12 minutes now, and St Helens still have just the one try and a goal. But this is the way it is in all meetings since 1980. Just the one London win. That was at Knowsley Road last year. The draw also at Knowsley Road, and they've never won London in the capital against the Saints in their history. In their history going back 20 years.
Gone pretty close on a few occasions. But you could see there in that set of six from St Helens that the biggest problem that London have and still have is the first and second markers. They really are not working overtime. On a couple of occasions there, as St Helens was playing the football, they both went the same way. You've got to split either way, cover the options.
Wynyard again, met by Tommy Martin. Good challenge by Martin. Wynyard nowhere to go.
Tackles well above his weight, doesn't he, Tommy Martin?
There he is, the Irish international, back in the side after injury. He missed the Leeds game last week. Here's Davidson, though.
That's better. Davidson coming on the charge, coming over the advantage line. This has to be a decent kick now.
Yes, we're on the last, and it's with Glenair, who hoists the midfield bomb. Steve Hall and Paul Wellens watching it. Wellens claims it.
What a season this kid is having. Paul Wellens again, it was swirling all around. It was a good kick from Glen Eyre.
Sam, get up, get up.
But he took it exceptionally well.
Wellens tackled by Timu. Well, Timu, New Zealander, and of course the Lincoln Financial Group Rugby League World Cup looms. Saturday the 28th of October it starts. Our match is England against Australia at Twickenham, 6:30 the kick-off. But there is an information line for you, but we'll come to that in a moment, because Sullivan is going to score another try here for Saints. And he's not given it yet, Carl Kirkpatrick.
And check the grounding, please.
Well, he wants to see whether he's offside. Also the grounding of the ball, I think that's okay. But they really did get caught out here. Matt Toshak, you can see him way out at the top. Kicked early in the tackle count, they've caught them out. Look at the speed. Now then, will it prove to be pretty difficult there? I think they'll give you the benefit of the doubt. This is all right, he did ever so well. Ooh, now then. I've seen those not given. We'll go frame by frame. Ooh, I think he's missed it. I think this will be deemed no try. Knock on. Well, they'll give him the benefit of the doubt because they're not looking for the offside. I think he's knocked on. They'll go for no try. It deserved one, though. And if they get away with it, the Broncos can think themselves very lucky. They seem to have control with the downward pressure. Have another look. This will convince him, I'm sure, frame by frame. No, he's lost that. I'll go for NOTRY, and the odds this year, that means it will be TRY.
There's no doubt about that. We're all watching the big screen here at the Valley. Watch the decision. You're right. Try. It was odds on as soon as you went no try. Ian Millwood not complaining about that, that's for sure. Neither's Anthony Sullivan, who goes past the 15 try mark for the season.
Well, as I mentioned, it fully deserved it. Sculthorpe not anticipating the kick because it went to the hands of Sculthorpe, not normally the regular kicker. And they've got Sean Long and Tommy Martin out there. Good effort, but I'm not so sure that I agree with the video referee on this one. You have to have controlled downward pressure, and I don't think he did. But I ain't the video referee. He's happy, and why not?
Yes, Ray Tennant has given him the nod, the video referee tonight. And Long then to add two more, he hopes. And he has. Good kick from Long. 12-0 to the Saints. To Ilangi and Sullivan with the tries. 2 goals from this fellow Sean Long, who's bound to be involved in that World Cup, as we say, for England. And Sullivan, of course, on the wing, bound to be involved in the World Cup for the Welsh. But Tony Ray, he's only the acting coach, but his problems beginning to mount already.
Well, he knows the fact that he got caught out with sheer speed. And that shows you the guile that we've got from the St Helens coach, Ian Millwood. And the players out on the field to make sure that they play to the letter. They certainly did on that occasion. It fully deserved it. Caught the defence out.
Well, we might have expected a try from Anthony Sullivan. Would you believe that's his 18th try? 18 tries against London. Fantastic record against this lot.
London down to 12 again. London player receiving treatment in back play.
Yeah, Peter Lupton it is, as Sean Long goes on a weaving little run, and they're standing off him. Andy Johnson got to him eventually with help from Cran. Lupton is being helped back into the defensive line there. Just going through the picture at the top there. Lovely little dink by Tommy Martin. He was tackled without the ball, though. Penalty St Helens. John Clark got to him, but Tommy Martin didn't have the ball in hand.
Too much of a temptation here. And you could see there that the hooker, John Clark, no doubt about it in the mind of Carl Kirkpatrick. Desperation stakes there from John Clark. And the entire team knows now that they are well and truly on the rack. They'll take the gift 2 points, I'm sure, which they are doing.
Well, there's confirmation that Kieran Cunningham did have a problem before this match started. With a 12-0 scoreline after 16 minutes, no wonder Ian Millwood tempted to withdraw the hooker and keep him maybe in cotton wool for what's to come next Friday, and bring young Scott Barrow into the lineup. That would have been the change he would have made anyway had Cunningham declared himself unfit to play from the start. And having warmed Cunningham up, the decision was taken to play him while the muscles were still warm after the warm-up. Long then, doesn't miss those. 2 more points to St Helens and a 14-0 scoreline. And it looks like we're going to get that blockbuster at Knowsley Road next Friday.
Certainly does at the moment. Beautiful little chip over the top, and you can see Clark takes out the standoff Tommy Martin. They've really got to lift their game now of the Broncos.
Well, last time we were here, they did. They lost the first half 28-0 to Warrington, and then they dug deep in the second half. That's what they've got to do again here. But there's no point really, Steve-O, in conceding 14 points to the opposition and then starting. I mean, they've got to start to play the game from the first whistle, haven't they?
Well, they got off to a horrific start, didn't they? The mistake by Brett Wharton did not help. They wanted to settle their nerves, and but to be fair, and no disrespect to Warrington, they are playing the champions. That'll be the knock-on.
It is by Hoppy.
And they do play some extremely attractive football to St Helens. And with a 14-0 scoreline, not surprisingly, Sean Long was venturing to run across the face of the defence. Such a master at it. And the highlight of the season, the way that he takes on the defences, just sucks them in, and they've got so much support. But good chance there from Timu.
Yes, and wrapped up by Tommy Martin. And then Tommy Martin walking all over the top of the New Zealander and conceding the penalty, which has been taken quickly by London.
You could see he wanted to just walk right over the man. Now then, what do the Broncos have in the bank here? One of the disappointing things throughout this year is the fact that their set moves have been pretty ordinary, to say the least.
Timu takes that tackle, and behind him in at dummy half is Dominic Peters. Peters, 10 metres away from the line. Gets to within 8. Clark. Back it goes to Lupton, and then wide to Glenair, and then further wide to Andy Johnson. Davidson wanted it and got it. And Davidson somehow stays in the field of play despite the attentions of Dwayne West. Here's Andy Johnson again. Andy Johnson, formerly with Wigan, he knows what matches and battles with Saints are like. Little dab through, looking for the kick through. They've come up with it again. Toshak has it for London. And he's nullified the tackles there, so we're back to 6, as you say. Referee begins the count again with London in possession with Glenair. He tries to run around Scott Barrow. Perolini coming in as the reinforcement.
Big hit as well there from the brick prop forward, Perolini.
Wharton to Retchless. Retchless, who scored probably the greatest try in London's history, which took them to Wembley a couple of seasons ago in the semi-final against Castleford. Seabo's thrown that to nobody, and Dominic Peters does well to retain possession for his club.
Great defence though by Saints. 2 men swinging Seabold round.
Cram. When you think about it, Steve-O, it was only 18 months that London Broncos were at Wembley, and they really haven't progressed, have they? In fact, they've gone backwards.
Little doubt about that. Not a bad kick though, but yet again, this youngster Paul Wellens, he played that ball forward. He's given him the benefit of the doubt as the official. It was a mistake, of course. He can no longer play the ball forward according to the new rules. Proceeds, plays it forward, then plays it back.
Yeah,
it was an accident.
It was an accident, yes.
I'm not trying to be pedantic, I'm explaining the rules, then, rather.
I'm not so sure that knew, actually, that one. If I can now be pedantic.
All I can say, it's been a long season.
It's got a bit longer to go as well. This is Tommy Martin. Good booming kick over the top. But didn't quite have the bounce he hoped, and Wharton will run it back, then give it to Peters. Peters, well, he offloaded in the tackle, but there was nowhere for Toshak to go there. Now Peters again.
Good work by the young winger. Working overtime, at least they're looking to try to offload. But at the moment it's pretty much one-out football. Oh, he got it away. Good work there.
Well, no, the referee shouted held.
Dooley was caught. Probably said that he didn't hear it. Well, it was still moving, to be fair.
Yeah, the referee had shouted held, though. He, as you say, he didn't hear it.
At least the big fella, Justin Dooley. Still, well, I'm not so sure that the arms were prevented from offloading. That's the reason why Mr. Dooley just... and nice to see as well, the big fella politely requested to the referee, even though he's not allowed to. That's another directive.
Barrow to Sonny Nicol. 14-0, the Saints are ahead, and they're back inside the 20-metre zone.
There again, we see the problem that the London side have, with allowing them to run from the dummy half position. First and second markers, yet again, they're being very lazy.
Joint with great strength, but Toshak came in with Johnson to haul him down. It's now with Long into the arms of Sculthorpe. Back it goes to Perolini. And Perolini, every time he gets hold of it, mind goes back to 1996 and that video referee decision here at the Valley against London that really did turn the season round for St Helens and won the championship for them that year. One always seems to remember it was right on this spot where Don Peters plays the ball.
Well, not really on the spot.
No, well, I know. You are pedantic tonight. There's something in the London water, is there?
Offside. Too eager. Well, I must say it has been a feature throughout the year for this St Helens side, an ability to not only produce some great attacking moves, but the will to work for each other in defence. A fine job as Ian Millward. Let's be very happy the way things have worked out, especially the combination, of course, with Sean Long and Tommy Martin. That really has been the highlights of the season for me.
Davidson, roughhouse, Paul Davidson, St Helens' favourite formerly.
A little bit of a facial there from Sculthorpe, but I think Davidson offered the flannel first.
Reckless, he was almost through, he just lost his footing at the vital moment, and he's hurt.
Well, I got the impression that Tommy Martin put a half a Cumberland throw on him then. And that's the reason why Reckless looked a bit dodgy.
John Clark looking to pinch one, back it goes to Timu. He's got Sonny Nicol ahead of him. Long is there as well.
You can see the tenacious tackling there yet again.
Clark, back it goes to Lupton. Lupton then wide to Glenair. Little kick over the top. An invitation for Toshak. He gets it, gives it to Johnson. Johnson, go! That was good hands. It's going to be a try. Glenair, but the referee will go to the video screen again. Glenair has touched down.
Check the onside, offside, please. The grounding looks okay.
We're just going to see whether there was offside at the kick. There definitely was one man, I think it was Andy Johnson, that actually was in front. But I think the winger, Toshak, now then look out wide. Johnson's gone, he's offside, but I think Toshak's all right. And he's the man that's concerned because he's the man that gets involved. Forget about the man in the centre.
Mind you, Johnson was involved with the pass that came
but it was
from this.
It was after. I think you'll find that maybe a St Helens player has touched it. He's onside there. This is situation. Now, will he deem that he should have been behind and within the 10 metres? We talk about being pedantic. I'll go for try. I'm just checking to see whether he gets it down well. This is super play there from Johnson. Outstanding little pass. Wasn't held. That was great work from Air.
But the debate surely will be whether Johnson was involved when the kick went up. Anyway, Glenair thinks he's scored the try.
So do I, TRY.
And Glenair looks, as we all do, and he's given the try. Well, Andy Johnson rather, was definitely within the 10 on the kick. But the video referee has obviously deemed that he wasn't interfering with play, although he was involved in the final pass.
Good work, though. Wasn't a bad kick, was it? Right over the top. Good work there. But this pass from Johnson, well, he deserved it. Second effort from Glen Eyre. He's the man that put the kick up. And he was just hanging around at the right moment. Johnson's superb pass.
Well, I suppose the debate is when is a player interfering, when he's in front of the ball. Under the rules, he's got to stay 10 metres away, but Johnson didn't, and he was involved in the final pass. Anyway, if you remember last week, Bradford got a try in similar circumstances last week, so London 6, St Helens 14, and Brett Wharton, so important to London for his goal kicking, and he's added the extras there.
Well, they certainly needed that, and good work. He's the man that provided the high kick, created problems for Anthony Sullivan. Good work from Toshak, got the ball away to the centred Andy Johnson, and that was a quite outstanding little flick pass on the inside. Oh, that's play on.
Yes, it bounced off Clark, so Long has got it back. Long is almost going to go half the length of the field. Glen Eyre try scorer turned try saver then.
Well, that was weird because London stopped.
Scott Barrow to Tommy Martin. Martin to Wellens. And they get over the line immediately in response, St Helens. And you get the feeling that they can just up a gear whenever they want. Wellens gets the try. And, well, they always talk about luck and Lady Luck shining on them. And it came off John Clark's back here, and he was standing outside 10 metres.
This is just a sheer fluke, isn't it? And as it turns out, it's a gift. No one responded, they just stood there. And Sean Long just drifted through. It was only a matter of time. As soon as they play the ball quickly, they were in all sorts of bother. Good half dummy. 2 went for Martin. Wellens in for the try. Watch Martin suck them through. 2 in. There's a gap. Beautiful rugby league football. But somewhat of a fluke from the kickoff. But it's an amazing thing in rugby league these days. You make your own luck. It's amazing. The harder you work, the more luckier you become.
Well, Paul Wellens, as we watch Sean Long here lining up the conversion attempt, he missed the win in May, and he's crowned his 60th appearance for Saints tonight with that try. Long's trusty left boot is trustworthy again, and London flattered briefly to deceive, and so St Helens up the tempo 20 points to 6.
Enjoys it, doesn't he? Sean Long, the responsibility of the goal kicking. But you can see from the high shot there that once they move through, and as soon as 2 go for it, there's a wonderful knack as Tommy Martin. Well, I mentioned earlier, Eddie, the highlight for me throughout this season, apart from some of the cracking games we've had through the last 3 or 4 months, has been the development of Sean Long and Tommy Martin. I know we've said it before, but it's amazing to think that Tommy Martin could have actually left the club.
Yes, they're a great combination, and Joint has given it now to Barrow. And Barrow says he had the ball stolen from him, but the referee sees it another way. He says play on. 29 minutes gone then, and London have got the possession back. John Clark down the right-hand side. Toshak to the halfway line, but good defending by Dwayne West. Now then, we've mentioned England-Australia in the World Cup at Twickenham on the 28th of October to start the World Cup off here on Sky Sports. And it is a 6:30 kick-off. The Irish are playing. There's a game in France as well on the same day. But that's our match that kicks the tournament off. And if you want any further information about World Cup 2000, I told you there was an information line earlier, and there is the number 0113 232 9111. First thing Monday morning, Rugby Football League. They will give you all the details that you might require. A real jamboree of rugby league, and all the playing nations around the world coming here for the biggest World Cup that has ever been staged.
Once again, this St Helens defence pretty solid, and they're taking it out of the Broncos.
Play on. Ball played the man. The referee has got the hand held up still. This is the last tackle. So Peters putting the kick in. He's chasing after it. Wellens does well, clears up, gets away from Peters, gets away from Glenair, can't get away from Reckless and Cram though.
Well, he's a solo run from Peters. Nice option, but I'm afraid he was all on his own. He got a half hit on Paul Wellens, a full back, but again the lack of support, which has been a sad feature of the Broncos throughout this season. They just have been out of sorts all year.
Sean Hoppy to Sean Long. Kick to turn Dom Peters round. And the tall London wing brings it straight back, but straight into the chest of Paul Sculthorpe, who I thought had a great game last Friday night at standoff against the Leeds Rhinos.
Well, he certainly did the job that his coach sent him out to do. He was to bottle up Justin Harris. He did that quite superbly. A talented player.
There he is again with a tackle on Paul Davidson, but illegally this time.
Just messing around, and Mr. Kirkpatrick says, come back, I want to have a bit of a word.
Hey, have you had a memo about that?
I'm sure you heard that the official saying to Glenair, who was still nattering at Mr. Kirkpatrick, and he turned around and said, excuse me, I think you've had a memo about this. Putting it mildly.
You talk to me like that again and I'll deal with you. You talk to me like that again and I'll deal with you. Go away. Go away.
Well, Glenair is not happy, and Mr. Kirkpatrick is unhappy with the way he was spoken to.
Well, I don't know why they do it, because he's not going to change anything. He's only, all he's going to do is upset the referee. If you're going to chunter, turn around and chunter to yourself.
That's the Steve-O plan. To Toshak. Yes, you talk to yourself all the time.
My word.
Because nobody else will talk to you.
I've had years of experience.
Lupton, he tried to get away from Tuilangi, but Tuilangi flew out of the defensive line to bring him down. It's now with Glenair again. Look.
Oh, that was a high one. Looking to get away with that. Glenair not too happy as well.
Barrow it was.
Was it ever?
This is Andrew Wynyard, and he was thinking about offloading, but Barrow had moved up to cut that option down. Here's the last for London. Clark with a little dab. That's got to be back to zero, and it is. But London trying to keep the ball alive. It's now with Toshak. Toshak halted by Perolini. The tackle count restarts for London.
Some of this tackling from Saints, they really are getting the shoulder into the Broncos, and they're feeling it every time.
Dooley starting off the bench tonight. An impact player then for Tony Ray. Clark, Lupton, wide it comes to Reckless, and Reckless, well, he looked outside him. Dom Peters was moving in, but too late. Timu, John Timu gets the ball away, does well. Clark, Wharton, give it some width. Johnson has slipped the net, and Johnson almost in touch. They're in touch now.
Once again, great cover defence from St. Helens, but much better build-up there by the Broncos. Johnson, he's trying hard there, but look at that. I mentioned the fact that these St. Helens players, they really work hard for each other.
Younger, I wanna go on. You know it.
I want a few.
Yes,
Olu, I want a few.
I want a few has just come on, and in doing so, he makes a little bit of history, because he has he's come through under 15s, under 16s, the academy, and the A team, and now he has made it into Super League. So that's a great step forward for the London club, that Iwanafu has made the transition. Here he is in Super League now. Oh, Hoppy.
Well, surely that was a knock-on.
It's got to be a knock-on.
Well, that has surprised me that the officials allowed that to go, but well, full credit, the junior development here has taken his time, always was going to, and he's from the local area just up the road. As I want a few, and I'm sure they want more.
Oh, you've been rehearsing that line all afternoon. Chris Joynt's off the field, as you can see, for St Helens. Barrow.
Oh, leave him!
Actually, until Brett Wharton was past fit to play late on, Wanafu was on from the start tonight. It would have been a huge step to make for the 18-year-old.
Vital minutes now for London. They've got to try to ensure that they can get into the half-time break, so that their acting coach Tony Ray can perhaps try to do something about this, but they can't do anything about this St. Helens defence because it has been so solid. Some big hits going on out there.
Here he is, first touch for Wanafu.
Welcome to the big world, youngster.
Well, I say first touch. His first touch was actually when he picked the ball up with 1 foot over the line a little earlier, but that's the first pass he's taken, certainly. This is Wynyard, big hit by Stankovic.
Definitely the difference between the two sides, the strength factor. I mean, look at that, even Sean Long had a big hit on Timu. Not just the forwards are getting involved, 3/4 line of this St. Helens outfit. They really are getting the shoulders in. Oh, what another great take.
He's steady away, isn't he, Paul Wellens?
Certainly steady. I wouldn't say he was away. I think he was at home.
Sir, here, boys. Get off, Scott.
Long to Sculthorpe, and here now is Yonkers.
Well done.
Sculthorpe misses out Stankovic and finds Martin.
It's forward.
Yes, it is.
The official's seen that one.
Right. You're giving me nothing.
Well, at 20 points to 6, the overconfidence there, and we've seen so often in the past, Tommy Martin, the ability to offload, 2 going into the tackle. That's the reason why Wellens scored the last try.
Well, he's frustrated with himself, Tommy Martin.
Such a creative player, though. Touched John to inform a little bit of an off-the-ball incident.
Once the ball's gone, let's leave it at that. I don't mind you playing it hard. Let's not carry it off the ball. No off the ball, Dills. No off the ball.
And well said by the official. Virtually indicating that the game's hard enough when you've got the ball. No point in getting involved when it's not in there, anywhere around you.
Timu. He got away from Hoppy, but this is Long, who's wrapped him up. Wharton's the dummy half. Wynyard. Big hit by the St. Helens defence again. Hoppy has really put himself about in the tackling department. Dooley's gone without the ball this time. Hall has got it back for St. Helens, and he takes the tackle.
But time to come up with a mistake from the big fella. They really wanted to just consolidate there and get in a pretty decent kick after the last.
Here's Steve Hall again. Davidson with the tackle. Barrow to Nicol. Nicol was leading with the elbow then.
Well spotted by Kirkpatrick. He's going to have a word with Sonny. And he deliberately lifts it up.
Sonny,
we can do without that.
The ball carrying arm is leading with the elbow. I don't want it. It's to the head.
Well, it wasn't the ball carrying arm, but it makes a difference. There's an arm. Well, the mistake from Dooley.
And they're going to end this first half, London, on the attack.
I'm just saying the mistake from Dooley now rectified. They do have the possession they needed.
And it's with Dooley, and he gets them to within 5 metres of the line.
Important now that London, they've got to try to get a try here. Lift their spirits.
Lupton, that was a lovely dummy. Wharton was steaming up on the left-hand side. He couldn't get the ball away, though. John Clark to steal Retchless. Retchless! He was almost through. Good tackle from Tommy Martin. John Clark trying to pinch one. Held up. Still in the field of play, though.
Leave him.
Getting to the point where time's running out.
It's with Peter Lupton. And wide it goes to Glenair. He thought he was through. He released the ball. It's play on. It all went backwards, that. This is Timu for London. On to Cram. Steps inside a couple. He's got Glenair there in support. He then hands it on to Wharton. Wharton can't get through.
That'll be it.
That's the last tackle of this first half. The first half that began badly for London, improved in the middle and then faded a bit towards the half-hour mark. They've conceded 3 tries. Wharton with the first blunder in the very first minute. Long with 4 successful kicks to add to the 3 St Helens tries. And Tommy Martin and Sean Long, well, they're always at the heart of things for St Helens. You get the feeling that they're just almost going through the motions here, the Saints. But London, well, they've been famed in this Super League 5 for big performances second half. Can they produce another?
We haven't got another one on the truck, have we? The actual Phantom Power 48 box.
Never know how much I love you.
It's the one between Phantom Power and the microphone.
When you put your arms around me, I get a fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever.
Yeah, what I'll do is instead of sort of, if the play goes right down the field, instead of sort of jogging, I'll walk and aim the mic rather than trying to keep 2 level, yeah? Okay.
More live cricket for you here on Sky Sports. Sunday at 12:30, Sky Sports 3, Nottinghamshire take on Glamorgan in a National League match, and for digital viewers there's interactive coverage available. It's exclusively live on Sunday from 12:30 and you'll find it on Sky Sports 3. Half-time here at the Valley, the London Broncos 6, St Helens 20, Tuilangi 3 tries for Saints, Tuilangi, Sullivan, Wellens. Long has kicked all 3 conversions and the penalty. Wharton has converted the air try. 20 points to 6. Well, this is where we are in southeast London, the famous, or should that be infamous, London Dome. Top of the screen, and if you pull back, you have a look at the Valley, the home of Charlton Athletic and the London Broncos. And let's say a fair old crowd inside the Valley here tonight to watch this match, London's last of year 2000. Last home game, that is. They've got to go to Headingley to play Leeds next Friday. But Tony Ray doing his best in difficult circumstances, the acting coach of the Broncos. And just down the corridor, the champions from St Helens, who, believe me, are in no mood to let their crown slip easily this year. And Ian Millwood, by the looks of things, about to deliver his half-time team talk. Disappointing first half, though, for the London Broncos. It started disastrously. Brett Wharton dropped the high kick, and Shane Millard, well, he went off injured in the very first attack from St Helens. And then it got even worse. It did pick up a bit for the Broncos when they scored the try, but as soon as they scored the try, Saints seemed to up the gear and come over the line for the Paul Wellens try in reply. Steve-O, a lot is being made of what's to come next year here at London. I think they'll be glad to see the back of the year 2000.
Oh, without a doubt, it has not been a great year, but I think it's quite clear when you watch that first 40 minutes that the difference between the two sides is not only just the speed, but also the physical side of things, is that St Helens are just far too strong. Even the likes of Sean Hoppy, Tommy Martin, Sean Long, they're going in with a shoulder. They're coming in with big hits that we are not seeing from the London Broncos, and that is the difference between the two sides. What it does mean is the fact that it makes 3 and 4 people having to go in to put a man down, where it's completely the opposite with the St Helens defence. One goes low, but there's always someone going in, and we've already seen 3 or 4 of those London Broncos players going down with bad injuries.
And St Helens, I do get the feeling that if they just up the gear, they can maybe win this match in a canter. But when you consider, you know, London, they're now searching for their 4th coach in 2 seasons. 7 of these players will be on the plane and back to Australia at the end of next week. I mean, stability is what it's all about, and this club hasn't had stability for a long time.
No, it has been an upheaval. Not only that, but of course they keep moving grounds. Let's hope that they stay here at the Valley. Let's hope that this will be their home for several years. Now, we mentioned midway through that first half that the youngster did come on to the field of play, and that means that they do have youngsters coming through. It has taken a while. Now, this is the incident where Millard gets injured, and that was a bad start. It really was, up against it. And then they came up with this awful mistake from Wharton. It went backwards, but you could see that Glenn Eyre was in an offside position, and from there on in, Joint went close. It was always going to be a problem. You can see the defence running back, and the big man, Tuilangi. The difference in strength here, look at that, get out of the way. 3 men tried, nothing was going to stop him. It was the start that they needed, but this was sheer skill. Out to Sculthorpe. Now, the Broncos did not think that Sculthorpe would be kicking there. Sullivan did. Raced through, he had the speed, not only the strength. Not so sure I would have given this one, but I am not the video referee. He got the benefit of the doubt, and they were off to that flying start. But full credit to the Broncos. The first real chance, and it was Glenn Eyre, the starter, and it was Glenn Eyre, the finisher. It was a superb kick. Sullivan in a little bit of trouble there. Toshak did well. Johnson, but look at the pass here from Johnson. Quite superb. Ball carrying arm nowhere near the deck, and perhaps there was just a glimmer of hope. But this was just a fluke kickoff. Straight off the back of the hooker, John Clark there. But look how they allowed Sean Long all the movement, and when they got it all set up. Superb play from Martin. Look how he sucks in the 2 players. Lupton, and then Wellens goes in for a try. And it looked at that point that perhaps they were going to run away with the game, but in the last 5-7 minutes just before the half-time break, maybe the luck was changing around with it because they didn't get much in that first half. And I'm sure that the acting coach, Tony Ray, will be telling them, look, let's just start again, forget about the first half. They've done it in the past. That has been the problem here. They've been woeful in the first half and put in good performances in the second.
I was going to say that script that the coaches deliver in the London Broncos dressing room, just a little bit dog-eared in the year 2000, isn't it? Forget the first half. Let's build on something in the second. That's what John Money said last time we were here when they played Warrington, and that's what London did. Maybe they can come back. They're not as far adrift tonight as they were against Warrington when we last saw them just a couple of weeks ago. Well, I wonder if you've spotted a man of the match performance. If you have, the man of the match tonight will go home with a Tissot watch as usual. And you watching at home can book your places early for the big night of Super League's year, the grand final at Old Trafford. 09009 10 10 13. Predict the losing coach's choice. If you get the name right, you can win those tickets to the grand final, and also your name will go into the draw to win the box for you and all your friends at Old Trafford on the big night. 09009 1010 13. We'll open up the lines with around about 20 minutes to go as usual. There's an old saying in sport, isn't there, that when the luck is going against you, it goes against you, and that certainly was the case for London when they conceded that third St Helens try. But this will have given them some hope. Beautiful ball from Andy Johnson. Big debate, though, should Johnson have been allowed to be involved in the play. It's academic now. The Saints are ahead, though, by 14. On Sunday, we've got a huge day of live football for you here on Sky Sports. 12 o'clock, Sky Sports 2, First Division football, Fulham taking on Barnsley. Sky Sports 1, 3:30, it's Premier League, Derby County against Charlton. Interactive coverage, Sky Sports Extra. At 6:30, Sky Sports 3, Spanish football, where Las Palmas take on Alaves. That's Fulham Barnsley at 12 on Sky Sports 2, Derby Charlton 3:30 Sky Sports 1, interactive coverage for Sky Digital viewers there, and Las Palmas against Alaves at 6:30 Sky Sports 1. All matches are exclusively live only on Sky Sports. Half time at the Valley, London 6, St Helens the champions of Super League 4-20, and St Helens aiming to go top of the table this time next week and into the playoffs as league leaders. To do that, they have to win here and then beat Wigan at Knowsley Road next Friday, and there maybe is the key to their ambitions. Tommy Martin, his combination with Sean Long has been outstanding all season. He missed the win against Leeds last week, but 2 tries against London at Knowsley Road and 5 goals here in May. But Sean Long with a big smile on his face, enjoying his rugby league these days with Tommy inserted alongside him, and why not?
Certainly are, and I suppose when you look at the London halfbacks, Peter Lupton had a great deal of experience. Glenn Ed, of course, he's been around the traps quite some time. Tony Ray knows that his 2 halfbacks are up against probably the best in Super League at the moment.
Just to let you know, if Saints do win here, they go top of the table again tonight, and then Wigan have to beat Hull tomorrow to reclaim top spot, and then we come down to the showdown to end all showdowns at Knowsley Road next Friday night, a match, Wigan against St Helens, that you can see exclusively live with us on Sky Sports. But let's hope that the houseful notice is out at Knowsley Road next Friday night. It should be, for a match of that importance between those 2 fierce local rivals, and a top spot in the playoffs is such an important prize. It really is, and I'm sure the fans of both clubs will turn out in force and give us an evening to remember. That's next Friday, Saints Wigan, Sky Sports. Right now, here on Sky Sports, we're at the Valley, and it's Justin Dooley of the London Broncos, tackled on halfway. John Clark to Glen Eyre. He stabs it through. Wellens just delayed because Sullivan was coming after it, and Sullivan is going to... Oh, that ball had stopped.
Not so sure. I think it was still rolling. Good work by Sullivan. Kept his cool. Yeah, still rolling.
Just.
That's all it has to do. Mr. Pedantic.
Have I got 40 minutes of this? Mind you, I've had 10 years, and really 11 now. Dwayne West.
I think the thing that I was highlighting at half-time, Eddie, was the fact that St Helens, far more physical, was outlined in the first set of 6. The London Broncos find it very difficult to get over the advantage line, and yet again we saw some big hits from the 3 quarters, not just the forwards. Shows you how fit and strong Saints are.
And that's Sculthorpe on the break. Support from Stankovic underneath the sticks. Stankovic gets the first try of the second half. Carl Kirkpatrick happy enough with all of that. And the St Helens supporters, who have made the long journey to be here with their team, being rewarded with a try early in each half. Tuolangi in the first minute of the first half. Stankovic, second minute of the second half.
Well, what a game Sculthorpe is having, not only just with the kicking game and his defensive work, but it was a great fend, offloaded superbly. He's in fine form, in international form as well. Feeble attempt, just so simple, makes it so easy. Upper body strength, yet again coming to the fore. Watch him just shift the ball to the right and then fend with the left. Excellent stuff. Justin Dooley had no chance, neither of the fullbacks, Stankovic. This could be a long night for the Broncos.
Well, John Stankovic, he has been substitute now 6 in a row, with a try in 2 of the last 3. Banged onto the sticks. Sean Long, rather. 4 from 4. This is going to be 5 from 5 in a moment. I think I'd even put Steve-O's money on this. 5 from 5 for Sean Long, 26-6 to the Saints.
See how Dooley commits himself. See how the defence has come out. Stankovic goes round the side. Well read. Superb offload. Good effort from Stankovic, but super skills from Sculthorpe. Loose forward for Saints is really on fire tonight.
So Wharton restarts. Underneath the kickoff is Tommy Martin. Tips inside to Stankovic again.
Well, I get the impression that if Saints score another quick try, I think that Ian Millwood will be then start looking towards resting some of his stars out there. I really don't think that London are capable of dragging back such a deficit.
Here goes Sculthorpe. I just wonder, Steve-O, after his performance last week against the Leeds Rhinos, where he kept Iestyn Harris quiet. Would John Keir, do you think, be tempted to ask him to do a similar job on Brad Fittler in that opening match in the World Cup for England?
Well, the way that he's playing, Tuilagi just knocking the ball on there, but the way he's playing, he certainly would be in my squad.
There's a huge debate about who's going to play standoff, isn't there, for England in the World Cup?
Well, he's such a utility player, isn't he?
Oh, big hit on Toshak, and that's Dwayne West.
And another three-quarter. Just adding to that point that I keep making. They are super fit, this Saints outfit.
Clark, Glenn Nicol and Yonkers in with the tackling. Clark again. Here's Scott Cram. On it goes to Wynyard. Andrew Wynyard, by the way, loose forward for New Zealand Maoris against Great Britain last year. Steve Hall has collected it for Saints. Well, 5.5 minutes into this second half, and St Helens already have posted their first try of this 40 minutes. I wonder what, though, was said at half-time. Let's go pitch side to Angela.
They were two relatively happy dressing rooms at half-time. Tony Ray, though, was playing his cards very close to his chest. He said he was quite pleased with the first half, particularly the last 15 minutes, but wants some more confidence in their go forward. They did that in the last 15 minutes of the first half. He wants to see far more of it. Ian Millwood is pleased too. He says their first two tries in the game showed some good attacking play, and that's what he wants to see more of. He wants them to keep the aggression up and dictate the pace.
They're dictating the pace at the moment. This is Tuilagi. He was almost through. It was a brave tackle from Glenn. Now then, Sean Long, left-footed, high and wide, looking for Sullivan. He palms it back to Martin. Oh, classy stuff from Martin to West. West was tackled by Lupton, but still got the ball away to Wellens. Oh, and they haven't got a hand on them yet. That's Yonkers. St Helens have gone backwards, but it's with Barrow now. Ooh! Flying boot of Sean Long there, and Toshak did well. He was brave.
Turnover. Certainly was. A real swinging boot there. What's this from Long?
Fortunately, Matt Toshak okay. Clark scampering away from dummy half, but Stankovic hauls him to the ground.
Not surprisingly, Toshak got to his feet, counting his fingers. Thought he might have left one on there.
Dooley flicked the ball back. And now it's with Johnson.
Oh, again a big hit. One goes low, Tommy Martin. These three quarters, they really are becoming big hitters, aren't they?
Well, that's the modern game, isn't it? Got to have forwards that run like backs and backs that tackle like forwards. And Saints have got that at the moment. Oh, and Nicol looked like he'd moved across the line of Glenn then. And the referee agrees. He allowed the advantage. There was none forthcoming, so London have the penalty.
Good work from the official as well. He already shouted to Nicol, let him run. Failed to do that. See him move right across. Professional foul, perhaps somewhat fortunate not to spend the stint in the sin bin. Seen it done before.
Here's Dooley again, long striding.
Better aggression there from Dooley.
Well, they're now within 4 metres. Callaway just on, and he takes the return. That was flicked back. It's going to be 6 to go, and the referee wipes the tackle count down as Timu flicks it out the back door to Rexless. Rexless tries to take on Barrow. Good tackle by the 20-year-old. Here now is John Clark.
Well, looks the only one capable really of making that break. Clark from the dummy half roll. Couple neat runs from there.
Johnson, nowhere for him, so he takes 2 of them on himself. Barrow and Yonkers. Peter Lupton delayed the long pass out wide because Tuilagi was hunting. This is Cram. Dean Callaway now on the charges there. Further wide is Lupton. They've got the try. Great try from London, that, and young Peter Lupton, 18 years of age. This is his second successive start at standoff. A young Millham lad who is working here for Tony Ray's London Broncos, and in the end the St Helens defence just melted away.
Well, at least they kept the ball alive. It really was good work. Glenn just came in on the curve. Tuilagi came out of the one line of defence little bit lax there, St. Helens, but well worked. You can see how Air came off the arc. And once he hesitates, look how the defence hesitates here. Stops, gives it the break. Well taken by Lupton. Good combination.
First try for Peter Lupton on home soil. His last try coming at Salford. 18 years of age, another one who has come through the nursery here at London Broncos. Now Brett Wharton. Good kick. 26-12. Brett Wharton, Tony Ray delighted he was in, if nothing else for his goal kicking.
Watch how he receives the ball, does the arc, and then throws the ball. Flat pass. Superb effort. Well worked. Good thinking. Great combination to the halfback. We praised highly Tommy Martin and Sean Long, but that really deserved the 4 points.
Yes, a nice combination between Glenn Eyre and Peter Lupton. Well, that will give them hope, and it will give them a bit of a zip in their step.
Well, I think any hopes that perhaps Ian Millwood, the Saints coach, had of perhaps resting his players now has gone out of the window.
For the time being, Dooley's running strongly.
I think he'll make sure that they get another try at least and try to weather the storm.
Callaway, that's a good kick. Callaway found Glenn Eyre, and Eyre with the kick. A great chase too.
Good work though by Steve Hall.
Well, they've got half an hour to go, St Helens. 14 points to the good.
Well, we saw in the first half where Sculthorpe kicked for Sullivan when Matt Toshak was caught out there. Not on that occasion by Steve Hall, who's learning each week. He's getting better as a youngster. And that's better defence. That's what was needed in the first half, but was missing.
Sculthorpe hangs on. Yes, it's a carbon copy of the last time we were here against Warrington. Where is this form in the first 40 minutes? It's like a golfer who can't play the first 9 but does well coming home.
Well, it's hard to define whether it's just the opposition sort of releasing the foot off the pedal.
Wharton, this is a good run.
Or whether it's just down to London needing a good kick up the backside at every half-time break. But how many times have we also said, Eddie, that this game lasts for 80 minutes, not 40?
Absolutely. Lupton, who will remember that try against the champions here. Callaway. Dooley. Martin. Ooh, that was dangerous. Sculthorpe and Tommy Martin.
Well, the rule states that you can't grab inside the leg, but
well, Dooley is flat out here.
It's just like a wrestling throw, isn't it? And he's got his arm in between. That's Sculthorpe. And that is dangerous. We can do without it. Silly play.
I think this is going to go on report, you know. Dooley is all right. Fortunately, they put him on his back.
Just a precaution, let's hope. Let's see whether everything's... You can see, look at his hand is between his legs there. That's the reason why it is a bad tackle. Well, I can't believe that Paul Sculthorpe would have gone for something like that. He's had a fine match. And that did very well. The nervous times for St Helens and their coach Ian Millwood.
Well, that would be the last thing they want. Oh, they haven't found touch, London now. Here comes Dwayne West. Cram collars him. Oh, and he falls off the tackle. West allowed to continue. Clark and Wrestlers coming in. But it will be nervous times because they already have lost Vila Matautia for the rest of the season suspended. And now Paul Sculthorpe will be sweating on the verdict from the powers that be, whether that should be referred to the disciplinary committee or not. Long went for the interception. Hoppy is fed to Ulangi out wide to Hall, who just hangs on.
Forward pass. Good position there by Kirkpatrick.
So late with the whistle then, though.
Well, I think there's little doubt. He's reaching forward. Maybe the P got stuck. Yeah.
Yes, it did go forward, that one.
Were you doubting me?
Nope.
Let's go.
But that really was bad work from the Broncos, not finding touch from that penalty. Here they find themselves camped down on their own line. There's the man who was slung to the canvas. He seems okay. Let's hope he is. Tough cookie. It's been a hard road for Justin Dooley.
He'll be back here next year, won't he? One or two of these others, though, as we said at half-time, won't be. Reinforcements coming, men like Tony Martin, Melbourne Storm, Jason Hetherington, Australian international hooker, although he won't be involved in the World Cup. Glenn with the chip over the top. Long has had to track back almost to his own try line, and he's forced over the line, is he? No, Callaway and Retchless thought they had him trapped in goal, but Sean Long did well.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it? The kick and chase game from London was quite poor in the first half. Now they did that ball. Was it grounded over the goal area?
Well, the ball carrying arm hit the deck over the try line, that's for sure.
Not according to the official. But where was this enthusiasm in the first 40?
It's that dog-eared speech we referred to at half-time. Seems to work wonders.
Well, I suppose someone will come up with something stupid like saying they should start with a half-time speech.
Who would be so stupid as to say a thing like that?
I wonder sometimes.
Timu.
It has been a problem, though, Eddie. It's something you don't have to laugh about as well.
Well, not if you're a London fan, that's for sure. Not if you're a London coach. One of the many they've had.
Not too long ago, of course, that London finished second in the league table.
97 under Tony Curry, their best ever finish. Then they got to Wembley, as I say, and they've not really capitalised, but they're looking to capitalise on some ground here with Clark. Got the ball away, Callaway, off it goes to Lupton. Here now is Toshak, and there's the young winger, Iwanafu. And Sullivan could easily have been penalised for that. He played at that, he did well. Scott Barrow did really well then.
Good work from Barrow. Quick thinking. And an enterprising run yet again from John Clark. He certainly tried hard. And some neat work running from the dummy half position. Now, if this Broncos side had got into the faces of St Helens like they are doing now in that first half, maybe it could have been a different scoreline.
Martin tried to jink inside, still managed to release the ball to Yonkers. He's got Dwayne West, and out wide is Anthony Sullivan. Sullivan struggling to his feet, gets there eventually. Yonkers dummy half.
Bit of a problem for Dwayne West. He's limping badly. Left leg problem.
Here's Long on the last. He puts the ball to the air. Oh, and it's bounced back. Still the last. Play on.
Surely came from an offside position there. Lucky not to give a penalty away. Either way, it's the turnover.
So London back in possession with Seabold. He's missed just one this year as Anthony Seabold. Dooley, none the worse for the experience of the throw to the canvas. Steve put it a few minutes ago. Callaway. Back it comes to Glenair. Here's Peter Lupton. Andy Johnson.
Well, there's certainly a lot more shape to their attacking. And that alone will lift their confidence.
Well, remember when Tony Ray was last in charge with Les Kiss, joint role, London actually managed to claim their only victory against St Helens at Knowsley Road last year. Knows what it takes. That's a great kick from Glenair. Well claimed by Sean Long, diffused the bomb behind his own try line. It will come back for a 20-metre tap.
Well, it's still quite a convincing lead, but I'm sure that Ian Millwood will get the message down, say, come on, let's just up the gear a little bit. We need another converted try at least, just to make this game safe. Because I'm sure that is what Ian Millwood would have wanted to do, is to rest certain players out there. He took a gamble starting the game with Kieran Cunningham, soon had him off.
Well, Joint is off as well at the moment. No, he's not, he's just back on. As if by magic, we drag him off the bench.
I don't know how you work those mirrors sometimes, Eddie. Well, it's a spirited fight back from London. Now then, what's that going to be?
Penalty on the call of the touch judge.
Well, it was a right mess from Barrow anyway. Interference at the play of the ball. Glenair looks confused.
Back you go, flag, stand still.
There's an incident again.
Stand still.
Oh, no doubt about it. Right arm from Glenair. Interference. Now then, will we see the skills of Long and Martin combined?
Well, there's Long. He's got it back again. Long, Dwayne West. Interesting point about Dwayne West. He actually made his debut for Wigan against St Helens at Central Park last Good Friday. Yonkers, and Saints now 5 metres short of the line. Barrow to Long. He has the time to be able to change direction and decide what he's going to do. Seabold eventually gets to him. Chris Joint in a dummy half.
That's a sign of a great player that can just...
Joint!
Is there.
Over the line. Try for Chris Joint. Well, the captain was dragged off the bench by his coach. I wonder if he said, just get on there, Chris, and win it with another try. And then we'll give you a little bit of a spell again on the sidelines. That was an easy try for Chris Joint.
Again, they get caught from the first and second marker position. They really have been split in that area by this St Helens attack. And to allow the big man so much room to go through, no doubt about it, good positioning by Carl Kirkpatrick. He had no doubts in his mind, neither did he.
Captain courageous. Had a great end to the season last year, Chris Joint. It ended with him lifting the Super League trophy at Old Trafford. I wonder whether he'll be doing the same again on October the 14th. Sean Long, 5 from 5 tonight. Real star of the game now, this fella. He's only 23, and he appreciates his talent as well, Ian Millwood. Difficult job when you think for Ian Millwood next year, Steve. Where does he go? What does he do? Because, you know, I think they've only lost 2 or 3 times under his control. 3 he's lost, Ian Millwood. I think he was making the point in one of the papers this week. Long adds 2 more points to the St Helens total. It's 32 points to 12 now. St Helens coasting towards victory and that showdown with Wigan next week.
What's the first and second markers? You've got to work a lot harder than this. One moved, the other didn't. And by the time they got there, Joint was already over the whitewash. Getting back to that point, Eddie, it's...
well, he's not won the grand final yet, to be fair, Ian Millwood.
That is for sure, but
it's a heck of a record he's got in league football.
It certainly is, and despite how good a side is, you'll always find that there's some players who need replacing. There's always a weak link within the club, and every coach worth his salt will be trying desperately to try to improve in every department. He's already got the superstars out there.
And talking of superstars, Yonkers one for the future, but Ian Millwood, there's his record in coaching with Lee in the NFP and St Helens, 78%. Terrific success rate. Here's his captain, Chris Joint. And here is the man I was just about to tell you about, Sean Long. He's now on 350 points for the season. It's a new Super League record, obviously. He broke Yeston Harris's old mark weeks ago, it seems. Now, with his 6 goals tonight, he's on 350 for the season, Sean Long. And let's credit young Awanafu with the defence.
Stood his ground. Not the best baptism for him. There's always a drop ball anyway. What a great moment for the youngster. Coming up against Anthony Sullivan. No mean feat. Big hit from Nicol.
It's a huge step up for an 18-year-old, isn't it, to come out of the academy and the A-team into this Super League.
Well, it's not so much the age, Eddie. We have seen 16-year-olds handle it quite well. It's a matter of how they prepare for it, of course. If you're with a stronger club, then they can blood you a little bit easier. It's the experience that counts more than anything.
Just let me emphasise, lines are open now for your man of the match votes. 09009 1010 13, the telephone number. Lines will be open for about 20 minutes or so. You can cast your votes, get yourself off to Old Trafford if you get the right name. Here's Seabold. Good ball, Callaway. Cram. Glenair. Showed it to Toshak. Showed it to Rexless. Took the tackle in the end from Sonny Nicol. John Clark, they're 8 metres away from the line. Clark stabs it in. Knocked on by Wellens.
The drop out. Oh, it's a neat little kick. He's worked hard as John Clark. He's been very busy throughout this game. Just couldn't take it on the half volley. Could the fullback Paul Wellens, one of the very few mistakes that he's made this year. Really has been solid as a rock. Getting back to that record point scoring effort from Sean Long. It's just outstanding, Eddie, isn't it?
Dooley kicking out, but getting to his feet, it is outstanding. 350 points is good, and I think Davidson's been done for lifting the elbow.
Not happy with it, but I must say, Carl Kirkpatrick has been on the ball today. And it was a bad one too.
St. Helens in the first half. You've got Sonny Nicol. You're putting your elbow up in the tackle.
Pretty fortunate he's not put on report here. We gave the benefit of the doubt to Sonny Nicol earlier. A bit of frustration from the rugged Paul Davidson.
This is Julian O'Neill. Penalty to St. Helens, and he was being lifted then. The referee blew the whistle before he could receive the treatment that Justin Dooley received earlier.
As soon as they lifted him off the ground, and that is good refereeing yet again.
Yonkers now for St. Helens.
Well, to be fair, Mr. Kirkpatrick has had quite a few problems in the past, but I think he's handled this quite well, Eddie.
Wellens. When he hears you've been praising him, he will quiver in his boots, Carl Kirkpatrick. Sculthorpe. Steve Hall. The hanging off again, London. And Hall getting to within 1.5 metres of the line. Joint is there. Here's Sculthorpe. Now it's with O'Neill. Still appearing to be surplus to requirements next year at St. Helens, Julian O'Neill, for highly competitive and highly... I'm searching for a word now, someone will help me in a minute. Consistent is the word I'm looking for.
Well spotted.
No try.
Forward pass. Just delayed it a little bit too late. But somewhat confused at the official. Well, I think you'll find that Mr. Kirkpatrick has got it spot on.
Yes, he was forward. But back to Julian O'Neill. He has been the model of consistency for St. Helens over the past 4 years.
Hasn't missed many, has he?
No, he hasn't, and he's still got a year of his overseas quota to run. But he's still looking for employment for next year. After this year's grand final, I wonder if he'll be there with St. Helens. Super League 5 has its big night, Saturday, October the 14th. The Tetley's Bidder Super League reaches a massive climax at 6:30 at Old Trafford on that night. And if you want any further information, 0113 244 114. Super League Europe's office open for business on Monday morning. Awonifood was chasing down that kick, and Wellens, the man on the end of the tackle. Now Sullivan releases the ball well in the tackle. Good run that from Barrow. Again, was that a knock-on, or was that stolen? Barrow claims it was. Referee says it's a penalty the other way because he just kicked the ball away. And he did.
I'm not so sure. I think it was Seabold,
right.
I think.
Paul Davidson.
Davidson, was it? I couldn't see his head, just his feet. No offence to Mr. Davidson.
Cram. Well, I wonder whether London can get over for a try as a result of all of that. This is Davidson.
Getting lively in there. He attracts them like flies, doesn't he, Mr. Davidson?
Glennair. Dooley. Flick pass and flicked on again. Sculthorpe was after it. Got to Seabold, who got the ball away. Johnson. They've lost a lot of ground here, London. They're going to lose more. Hall got a flick to it. Oh, Lupton has fumbled it. They've gone from about 10-15 metres away from the St Helens line back to halfway. They've retained possession, which is something, but lost so much ground. Yeah,
but full credit to the effort from the Saints' defence. They're just worried that it's got into their faces all the time, and even though it looks like this game is well and truly in the bag, they're still working hard.
Glennair, another high kick. Another tester out wide. Hoppy touched that.
Surely.
Yes, back to 6 it is. Dominic Peters has it for London. Here's Callaway. Now Dooley. Flicked it away again. Peters once more. Well, they're trying desperately to keep this ball alive, London. They lost ground from here back to halfway not long ago. But they're still in possession. With Seabold.
Couldn't get it away.
Callaway. Davidson. Thundered to the floor by Sonny Nicol. Callaway. Lupton. Johnson. Seabold again. Good defence though from St Helens.
Broncos could do better to stand a little bit further back. They were far too flat there. Kept the ball alive, but there's no one coming onto the football.
Cram did then. Camped underneath the posts now.
Lost it.
He's had it stolen. And another set of 6 on the way here. This is the third on the run. Third set of 6. Can St Helens hold out? Dooley flicks it. Oh, went backwards. Now Saints have got it back. That's great play from Sculthorpe. Pinched it from underneath the nose of Cram. And now London are offside.
Tenacious play yet again.
Wellens away. He is. Wellens. Glennair had a little slap at him.
He thought it as well that Wellens has gone down.
Sculthorpe.
Well, let's hope that Wellens is okay. Receiving treatment in back play.
Joint. Junkers. Joint again, dummy half. Barrow to Long. Shows it to a couple, runs flat. Brings the winger back on the inside. That was Sean Hoppy. Down the short side, Long again. Still Long. In it goes to Stankovic. It's with Sculthorpe, the dab to the in-goal area, and Awonifood just knocks the ball dead.
Good thinking as well from the youngster. Nearly placed kick there from loose forward Sculthorpe. Did it well. This is a run from Wellens. Nice step. There's a big hit.
Good 5 minutes.
Six minutes of the match remaining. Drop out from underneath the post by London. As far as Sculthorpe. Comes back inside to O'Neill.
Well, I think the words "did better" will yet again be utilised by the London camp, but I'm afraid it's just not good enough.
Nicol. Saints looking to finish it here. Nicol stepped out of that challenge. Long to inject some pace, and Stankovic loses it.
He was always losing that. No advantage. With a knock on. Well, the one positive for Ian Millward in the latter stages of this game is the fact that Sean Long is still running and looking for work. He's never the guy to put the brakes on, is he?
Just 5 minutes of London's home season remaining here at the Valley for the year 2000. St Helens will march into the playoffs, of course. Awonifu is trying to give us something to remember. Oh, he's lost it.
That's a shame.
Yes, St Helens will march into the playoffs. Awonifu with the run, but on the whole, Steve-O, London will be glad to see the back of this first year of the new millennium.
No doubt about that. I know it's a bit cruel, but perhaps only a stone's throw away from a thing called the Dome. I don't think that's had a successful year either.
Well, they've just had 3 wins here at the Valley all season. And the champions going to impose another defeat on them. There's no doubt about that now. Just the size of the margin forward from Long, surely to Stankovic.
Well, they got away with it.
Barrow does well.
Bit of job well done though by Saints. They got off a little bit of lady luck. Came their way early. But ever since the early drop ball by Wharton when they allowed Tuilagi in for the try, it was always going to be an uphill battle for the Broncos side of things. But the one thing that really has impressed me about this Saints effort is the way that they have worked hard for each other. They've worked as a team. They've shared the work too. But the way that some of these 3 quarters, that's an easy one for Tuilagi.
If he got it down, and Tuilagi began the scoring, and it looks like Tuilagi might have finished the scoring. That's his 2nd try of the night, and doesn't he love scoring tries, this big fella? Ferretti Tuilagi, his 9th of the year 2000, over in the corner, and that will clinch it. No doubt about it at all.
Basic football. That was great work. Just sucked the defence in. Dominic Peters was left with taking a decision, Hoppy or Tuilagi. Didn't interfere with either. Tuilagi in at the corner. Just trying to make that point, Eddie, is the fact that the thing that really has impressed me is the way that the 3 quarters, their defensive action, I mean, it's just been powerhouse. They really have got into this London outfit and they have bruised them. They have really toughed it out. And they've out-muscled the London Broncos with ease.
They have, and Ferretti Tuilagi, although this is his last season at Nosey Road, is still highly revered and respected on the terraces. And he's just acknowledged the travelling army from Nosey Road. Last year, St Helens marketed the Freddie wigs, remember, when he had his hair done in the Rastafarian style. Long, oh, what a kicker this fellow is, off the touchline. I mean, in the overall course of events, that didn't matter, but Long wanted the 100% record with the boot, and he got it. 38-12, great kick off the touchline. If he kicks one like that off the touchline next Friday, I wonder if that'll be a one that would win the match. There'll be a little more pressure on Friday night. But Tuilangi's try, 2nd of the evening, and Long's kick makes 38-12 with just about 90 seconds remaining here at the Valley. O'Neill again does well, gets it away to Sculthorpe. Oh, Sculthorpe loses that in the tackle. Here's Cram. Can London finish with a flourish now then? Callaway. Wide it goes. Timu. 1 minute remaining. Glenair, Peter Lupton, Andy Johnson. 3 tackles gone. Plenty left for London to give their home supporters something to shout about at the end of their home season. Good long ball out wide from Glenair to Timu. He's found Peters. Peters! Strong run. Still 2 tackles in the bank. Glenair. Nowhere to go. Has to take the tackle from Tim Yonkers. That's the last. Callaway. And Long tidying up at the back.
Always on the lookout, isn't he? Not just in attack. And they will just one out this now. Run the clock down.
That's what they're doing with the crowd counting down in the background. 80 minutes up. Referee blows the final whistle. He said that'll do. And Paul Sculthorpe on report at the end of this match. Some little worry then for the Saints, but as far as the match result, it was never really in doubt from the first minute. Sean Long kicked impeccably to Ilangi's first try in the opening minute, his second try with 3 minutes remaining, in between efforts from Sullivan, from Wellen, Stankovic and Joint, and Long was absolutely